It's wild how something as simple as a makeup sponge can spark one of the loudest controversies James Charles has faced in years. No scandals, no leaked messages, just a sponge. But somehow, this tiny product ended up triggering arguments, fan wars, creator tension, and one of the most dissected reviews of the year. What started as a basic beauty tool quickly turned into a domino effect of criticism, confusion, and a whole lot of speculation. And the strangest part? None of this would have happened if one creator didn't decide to post the review people weren't expecting. Because the moment Painted hit upload, everything changed. Section 1. The sponge that started it all. When James Charles finally launched his long-anticipated beauty brand Painted, fans expected bold makeup, big palettes, dramatic colors, something loud and signature. But instead, his first widely discussed product became the hefty sponge, a blending tool priced at $28. The reaction was immediate. People were stunned by the price tag and confused about what made this sponge stand out. Some viewers joked that at that cost, it better blend out your problems, fix your taxes, and tuck you into bed. But even though the product was simple, the energy online definitely wasn't. Section 2. The Too Perfect. Launch. From the moment James introduced the sponge, the launch felt carefully polished. The marketing was bright, clean, and confident. Almost too confident, according to some viewers. Rumors spread across beauty forums and TikTok comments that the rollout seemed a little curated, like it was designed to dodge criticism. Nothing confirmed, of course, just the usual internet whispers whenever a creator launches something pricey. But the real tension didn't come from the marketing. It came from what happened once customers actually got the sponge in their hands. Section 3. Packaging confusion starts the first wave. Before any drama broke out, something much smaller started irritating early buyers. The packaging. The sponge came in a sleek, minimal design box that made it nearly impossible to tell which color was which. Influencers complained that they had to hold the box up to bright lights just to figure out what they bought. Viewers began posting jokes about needing detective tools just to identify the shade. Nothing major yet, just mild complaints. But it was enough to plant the first seed of skepticism. Because when people start doubting a product before reviews even hit the internet, you know trouble is coming. Section 4. Enter Painted, the reviewer. No one expected. Among all the creators who test beauty products, Painted stands out. They're blunt, confident, and famously unfiltered. If something is good, they'll say it. If something is bad, they'll definitely say it. And their audience loves them precisely for that. Their reviews don't feel sugar-coated or creator-friendly. They feel honest. Because of this, there have long been rumors that some influencers get nervous when Painted tries their products. Not confirmed, but something people talk about behind the scenes. So when viewers noticed Painted picked up the hefty sponge for testing, the anticipation kicked in instantly. People wanted to know exactly what they'd say. Section 5. The review drops. And it isn't pretty. When Painted uploaded their review, the tone was straightforward. No extra theatrics, no unnecessary digs. They mentioned the packaging issue, saying the colors were nearly impossible to distinguish. They said the sponge itself performed fine, but not $28 fine. They even compared it to cheaper options that did the same job for a fraction of the price. They weren't rude. They weren't dramatic. They were just honest. And that honesty is what flipped the internet upside down. Section 6. The internet reacts instantly. The review spread fast. People clipped it, shared it, and filled the comments with relief that someone had finally said what they were thinking. Viewers said they were tired of creators hyping every product just to stay on good terms with influencers. Others claimed they felt validated, hearing someone admit the sponge wasn't game-changing. Within hours, the video became a reference point for the entire Painted launch. TikTok was full of people stitching it, agreeing with it, and adding their own frustrations. But applause wasn't the only reaction. Section 7. The fan backlash hits hard. Suddenly, Painted's comment section shifted. James Charles fans came flooding in, accusing them of chasing views, stirring drama, and being jealous. Some insisted that Painted targeted James unfairly. Others said that Painted enjoyed tearing down creators for attention. The energy got intense quickly, and it didn't feel organic. It felt coordinated, whether intentionally or just as a result of a passionate fan base. Painted wasn't prepared for how many people were ready to defend James with full force. What started as a calm review now felt like a battleground. Section 8. James responds. Indirectly, James eventually made a statement saying he wasn't upset about the review and didn't encourage anyone to attack Painted. He claimed he respected honest opinions and wasn't the type to send hate over a sponge. But the internet wasn't convinced. Fans began dissecting his posts, looking for hidden clues or indirect shade. Some people believed he threw subtle jabs. Others said the posts had nothing to do with Painted at all. It turned into a full conspiracy, people searching for meaning in every emoji. And even though nothing was confirmed, the speculation kept the controversy alive. Section 9. Painted stays calm. calm and starts winning people over. Instead of fueling the argument, Painted responded with humor. They made lighthearted follow-ups, joked about the situation, and stayed completely unbothered. Their calm approach made people respect them even more. Many viewers switched sides, saying Painted handled the backlash more gracefully than anyone expected. The tone on social media shifted. People began questioning why James's fanbase reacted so aggressively to a basic review. What seemed like a huge wave of hate now looked like a massive overreaction. And once the public started noticing that, the narrative changed again. Section 10. Price becomes the core problem. Once emotions cooled down, one issue remained impossible to ignore: the price. $28 for a sponge wasn't just expensive, it became the central argument. Viewers began comparing the hefty sponge to cheaper sponges that blended better. Some even posted side-by-side tests proving that inexpensive alternatives worked just as well, if not better. Rumors began circulating that the price was intentionally inflated to make the product feel luxury. Nothing verified, just speculation floating around in beauty circles. But the price debate wouldn't be the last twist. Section 11. Other creators start speaking up. After Painted broke the silence, other influencers subtly followed. Some left vague comments online about challenging packaging choices or pricing confusion. A few creators liked tweets criticizing the sponge. Even though no one directly attacked James, it was enough to show that the frustration was more widespread than people expected. Every small comment added more fuel to the fire. Suddenly, the hefty sponge wasn't just a bad review, it was a conversation piece. Section 12. The shade debate escalates. The idea that James might have thrown shade at Painted became its own storyline. Fans analyzed timestamps, captions, emojis, and even the tone of his messages. Anything that sounded slightly defensive became evidence. People took sides, some insisting James would never do something petty, others claiming he always reacts indirectly when criticized. It reached a point where the debate became bigger than the actual product. The sponge wasn't the center of attention anymore. It was the tension. Section 13. The sponge's reputation slips at this point. The hefty sponge had become a meme. People compared it to kitchen sponges. Others joked that it was the most dramatic $28 they'd ever witnessed. And as more creators posted their own experiences, the product's reputation continued slipping. Even neutral viewers admitted it didn't perform any better than cheaper options. By now, the hefty sponge wasn't a beauty tool. It was a symbol of what happens when hype meets reality. And it had one more impact that no one expected. Section 14. What this means for Painted as a reviewer. The controversy ended up boosting Painted's reputation in a major way. Their audience grew quickly, and people began viewing them as one of the few creators willing to be brutally honest in the beauty space. Brands might have been nervous, but viewers were excited. Painted's entire image strengthened. They became the go-to voice for honest reviews. And because of that, everyone waited to see what or who they would review next. Section 15. Final fallout and bigger questions. By the end of the drama, one thing became clear. Beauty fan bases can be unpredictable. A single review can create waves bigger than anyone expects. This entire situation showed how delicate relationships are between creators and reviewers. It exposed how quickly fans will defend someone they admire, even when the product doesn't quite match the hype. And it left everyone wondering one lingering question. If one sponge could cause this much chaos, what's going to happen the next time Painted reviews something from a major creator? Because after this, everyone is watching.